Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I am back with another review. Today I'm really excited to bring to you from the Transformers Legacy Evolution line. This is the Junkion Weaponizers Scraphook from Wave 1 and Crashbar from Wave 2. Scraphook's a tow truck, Crashbar's a futuristic Mad Max looking style motorcycle. Now, Scraphook, now I just got from Amazon. Apparently, for whatever reason, they were shipping Scraphook and Tarn much later than the rest of the Wave 1 Evolution figures, and thus, I actually got Crashbar before Scraphook from Big Bad Toy Store, who has it now. Now, here's the thing. Doing a little cursory look, it kind of seems to be that as of right now, as of this recording, Amazon is the only place to have Scraphook in stock, as the other online retailers have kind of sold through of their Wave 1, assortments, and are they're probably going to get a restock. But you can also find Scraphook in brick and mortar retail. Crashbar has not shown up at any mainline retail yet, and in fact, and I think I forgot to mention this with Prowl, the QR code bio on top of the box does not work yet. So both of these share, as I said, a similar aesthetic. This Mad Max style, the same browns and color and yellows and colors and stuff. One thing I want to mention right off the bat, you'll notice tabs and slots here on Crashbar. Those are not used in vehicle mode or robot mode. There have been some sort of rumors that perhaps these Junkion weaponizers are going to be able to combine somehow. I don't know if that's true or not, but it does seem like a possibility. I hope there's instructions included that make it a little easy. It's very possible that those tabs are actually for putting other figures on to let them, sit and be secure a little more easily. I just noticed here there's like a little slot on the weapon here. Very interesting. Hmm. All right. Well, oh, there's two, so there and there. Interesting. So just, food for thought. So what we'll do is we will pause and we will come back and take a look at Scraphook. Okay, so here's Scraphook. Now, one of one of the gimmicks to these weaponizers is that they actually feature full transformation without having to take them apart. And while in concept, I think that's a nice idea, I think the execution needed another little pass, just because, as you'll see with Scraphook, there's a little bit of a section where stuff ends up coming off anyway. Start the transformation, the first thing you want to do is go ahead and remove the extra parts here, namely the side fins, the tow hook, and this is actually in two pieces with the hook as a separate piece. So there's that if you want to have it that way or have it that way. Unfortunately, that arm doesn't move at all. And nice little touch, the peg is offset so that when you peg it in here, it actually is centered. And then, of course, remove the spare tire. That's very nice, very traditional Junkion look. So we're going to have those off to the side, and we're starting with the main body here. First thing you want to do is come underneath, and you want to pop open the doors here on either side. They tap in just like so. And next, and this is actually the trickiest part of the transformation, is doing the arms. What you kind of want to do is wiggle them out ever so slightly, and then separate, and then flip them out. Okay. This is actually the hardest part to do to get into vehicle mode. What I recommend is getting these arms down. Oh, and you see it just actually came off. Getting these arms down slightly on the first joint, and then bring them together and push them down. So that way they'll tap into the bicep and then peg together. If you try doing it one at a time, you're not going to have enough clearance. So you got to do it both at the same time. So the next thing is you want to rotate the fist so the fist holes are facing inward, and then rotate at the bicep so the elbow joint is facing up. And if you haven't already, just bring the arms out on these joints here. And as you can see, yeah, the arm joints are a little loose, that they end up coming out like that. Bring them down, and then flip this section up. You know, just get it out of the way. Next, what you want to do is take the cab here and flip it back on this hip, on the hip joints here. And then I guess you can bring this up just like so, as we're joined by Delilah. Rotate here at the waist joint, and does that come off? No, it doesn't come off. And oh god, and we're going to try to keep this in focus as best we can. All right, so then what you want to do is grab this panel here and rotate it around, revealing Scraphook's head as Delilah tries to take nips out of me. I guess because you notice it's the movement, and I'm like by her lower part of her body. So, okay, so once you have the head revealed, you want to open up these panels a little bit. And what you'll do is bring this up, and there are tabs that are going to kind of peg in, and you can bring the arms down too, on the side there. And just, oh good, that went in easily. And then just do it again on this side. That secures the chest into place. And then come around the back here, and what was the doors and vehicle mode interlock to close the back. Now we're going to come down to the feet. Pull ever so slightly on the front here, and you want to loosen up the grill. And you can actually, before that, what you want to do is separate the legs. That'll help you bring out, the legs separate, but you can also loosen up the feet there just by pulling them out and bringing them forward. So just grab from the side there, pull it out, bring it forward. And there you have Scraphook in its basic robot mode. But as we know, we got all these parts to deal with. So the first thing is the little exhausts. You can peg them up here in the shoulders on the wheels. Now I'm just showing you how the instructions and how the promo pics have it. You, of course, can do whatever you want. And in one photo, they show the hook going on the arm like this. In another one, it actually goes like that. I think I kind of like having that little extra flap facing upward. And then finally, you take the tire shield and you can put it in the forearm there. But we're not done yet. Let's come back down to the legs. Fold the feet down so you can get in here to these panels. And we have a couple blasters that formed the hood of the truck. And there you go. There is Scraphook in its robot mode, armored up. And again, like I said, you can do this however you want. There's ankle pivot, armpit joints, swivels, knee bends, waist rotation. His head is just on a swivel. I think that's the nature of the transformation. You can swap the weapons around, stuff like that, however you like it. Kind of fun. I actually, I'll spoilers for the conclusion. I kind of like Scraphook a little bit more than Crashbar because it's a little easier to transform and stuff doesn't pop off as easily. So, yeah, that's about it for Scraphook. We will pause and we will come back. Okay. Before we get into the transformation of Crashbar, what I've gone ahead and done is I've actually broken down Scraphook into some of its component pieces to show you some of the combinations you can do between the two Junkions. Now, the first thing is you want to take what were the legs and feet of Scraphook, the front of the truck mode, and split them apart, remove them, and you'll notice there's little posts there that peg into the saddlebags. And oh, and you know what? That's what the tab's for. That slot in that saddlebag, that's what it's for. There's one, and here's the other. And basically, you now have a bit of a tricycle, powered, motorcycle type of thing going on. So that's really cool that they even worked in the post there. And I wonder, there's like another slot in there. And was that for? Yeah, that's for when they combine. Interesting. So you can do that, and that's what it's there for. So that's really cool. If you want to do like a full sidecar, I guess you can just put this on one side. But oh, you know what? That doesn't sit. That sits a little too high. So if there's another, no. So there's that. And now what I'm going to do is, let me separate this. We're going to come in and bring in the main body of Scraphook. We're going to return this to that position. As you can see here, I've gone ahead and removed one of the arms. You want that back section open. And what we're going to do now is we're going to strip Crashbar down. This is what you'll have to do for transformation anyway. So remove these. Remove the saddlebags, which will become the blasters in robot mode. And put those off to the side for the moment. And now we're going to go ahead and start removing the legs, which is a little bit easier to do on Crashbar than I like. So you just want to loosen up the front there, loosen up the rear, and just pull it off. And do the same on this side. And basically we're going to take this central section, put it off. And now this is supposed to be able to combine. And what you want to do is you want to make sure you push it forward like the leg will be in robot mode. And this will go in just like so. And then this one, do the same thing. We'll go in on the rear here. And, I mean, this is, let me just check the picture and the instructions and how they have it set up. We have that down. Oh, and they do, you know what? They do have it like this with the wheels leaning forward and stuff. So you have, in a way, you have this little jalopy monstrosity here. It's like a half truck, half motorcycle type of thing. Is anything peg in? Am I missing? But no, that's about it. So I think I like the saddle car version a little bit better. I mean, obviously, if you want, sorry, I nudged the camera there. You can, of course, add on these parts however you like. You know, this is not shown in the instruction, but there you go. You've got some, blasters and what have you, and it's really up to you. But this is just the main part you can do. But I think the saddlebag one, well, I should say the dual trike, that was the main thing. So what we'll do now is I'll clean this back up, and we'll get into Crashbar's transformation. Okay. So as I said, Crashbar's transformation is a little more fiddly, and it really has to deal with the legs and getting them back into robot mode, and even into vehicle mode, because the joints here that have to telescope out are a little bit tighter than they should be, and they end up coming off the peg. So the first step is, that's what we're going to do right there. Bring that up like so. Bring that wheel up, and then detach the front here. It actually tabs into what will be the back of the elbows of robot mode. Do the same telescope maneuver. Close up actually flip the foot around and then close up the handlebars to form heels. Bring the legs down and forward just like this. So we're actually just about there. What you want to do is now is rotate the torso forward. And I think this doesn't come off. The legs come off. The head is supposed to come off, but it's very difficult, and the arms pop off. So what you want to do now is unpeg the arms from the back of the torso, bring them around just like so. The hands sort of peg into the spikes there in the shoulder. Rotate it around, and this is my other issue: is this mushroom. Because of the rotating, the mushroom, the hands peg in with the mushroom peg, and they do have a tendency to pop off. So you might just on occasion have to push them back in. So with that down, come in here and bring up the head. I'm missing something here. Like, how do you get the head up? There we go, and it will sort of soft peg into place. And let me just show you, the ball joint is really hooked in there. They show you just pulling it off, but you really would have to slide it out, and it's very hard to do because of how spiky the head is getting a grip. Now, to reattach the pieces we took off, these will go in the back, just like so. And now what's interesting is they do mention that these can be used as handheld weapons, but this part here where you would think you would grab is too thick to go in the hand. So I end up, you would have to just do it like that, like a knuckle cover, or I guess you can also do it like that. That's a better option, I think. But again, these peg in the back here, and then you have the two saddlebag cannons. But before we get into that, let me just show you one other thing. Remember this wheel here? Go ahead, these panels open up, remove the wheel, close it back up. I almost forgot about this. And make sure you have the leg. This is one thing I've noticed, is that Crashbar, the leg sometimes likes to get out of position in terms of the heel, and so it looks like he's a little short leg. But you have this. Stick your fingernail in, or just your finger, and you now have a bladed weapon that can be used as a shield, or what I like to do, stick it in the barrel here of one of the saddlebag blasters. Wrong end. There are two different size pegs, just so you know, and there you go. You've got like a Junkion chain gun. And in fact, if you take the spare tire from Scraphook, you can dual wield the chain gun blasters. That can also be used as an arm shield. A lot of fun right there. Now, in terms of articulation, as I mentioned, this head is on a ball joint. You do have the waist swivel universal joints there, and so the arms can pop off, so that's what they swivel on. Nice elbow bend, over 90 degrees. You have the wrist articulation for transformation, but again, the mushroom peg. Universal joint at the hips, the bending at the knees, the swivel. Again, a lot of that is for the gimmick and the transformation. So I do believe, that's about all. So I think what we'll do now is we will pause, and I will come back with my final thoughts. As I said in the beginning, while I like the concept of a perfect transforming weaponizer, especially with the Junkion motif, I think it needed a second pass. The fact that parts can pop off during transformation kind of defeats the purpose, and it's not like the weaponizers didn't have transforming aspects to their bits to begin with. Especially, I think, with Crashbar, you'll find yourself taking the figure apart to collapse the legs and stuff, and then putting it back together because it'll just be a little bit easier. Unless, again, it's just my copy of the figure. Scraphook, as I said, is my favorite. I think it's a little bit better. Crashbar, I am happy to have just for the parts. And I think overall, Crashbar will serve better for parts because you do have those saddlebag cannons that you can do a lot with, and you have those exhaust pipes. So there is that. And I do appreciate the combination, and I do appreciate the inclusion of tabs and slots to facilitate those combinations a little bit better. Who knows? Maybe we are going to. The other thing I was going to mention is I heard rumors that all of these weaponizers might combine together into some sort of super Junkion robot. I don't know if that's true. It'll be interesting to see over time. But as of right now, in terms of recommendations, I would say if you have Scraphook, you can kind of wait to get Crashbar maybe on sale unless you really want the extra weapons. Again, you might have better luck than I did in terms of parts staying together, but seeing as how they're all pegs and holes, they're only going to really loosen up over time. So that's my final word. And that's about it for the review. If you like this review, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. While I always appreciate the views, the likes, comments, and subscriptions help to communicate to YouTube through their algorithms that my channel should be exalted and held upon high. If you want to make the ultimate sign of support, I do have a Patreon. It is www.patreon.com/ChuckDog1999. All I ask for is $1 a month, $12 a year. No thrills, no tears, no special rewards. All you're doing is helping me help you to help me help you bring figures like this to you, as well as keeping up the infrastructure of the channel. But as I always say, I know we're in a difficult time right now financially. Inflation is high, prices are going up. I don't want you guys to have to worry about me. So as I always say, if you can't swing the $1 a month or $12 a year, your views are more than thanks enough. Patreon is just a cherry on top of an already generous sundae. And you guys have been very generous with your views over these, I think, was it now, almost 12 years? So yeah, I appreciate it all. Well, that's about it for the review for Scraphook and Crashbar. This is your old pal Chuck. We will see you next time.